Good morning. Okay. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all to today's Moorfields Patient Day on research into age-related macular degeneration. You don't need me to tell you that AMD can have a devastating effect on life. It can affect our ability to live healthy, independent lives. It can have a devastating effect on our quality of life, has an impact on our families and communities, and the impact on the economic state is substantial. So AMD is believed to affect up to 2 million people in this country alone. 200,000 people are sight impaired, and the impact in terms of the financial economic cost is believed of sight impairment is something up to £20 billion a year. So we need to address this. We need to find ways to prevent AMD. We need to find ways to protect people's sight against AMD and ways to improve the sight of people who are affected. And this means research. I am one of the many people, my name's James Bainbridge, and I'm one of the many people in this meeting whose job it is at Moorfields and UCL Biomedical Research Centre for Ophthalmology to do research into conditions including macular degeneration. But we need your help. You may already have been involved in helping us, and there are a number of initiatives that we are driving. You may have been involved in setting priorities for research, and you may know about the priority research setting framework called the James Lind Alliance, which identified AMD as one of the top priorities for research into sight problems. And this has been very powerful in achieving a consensus, if you like, on what the main problems are that need to be addressed and how our relatively scarce resources should be funneled. This has meant that we have identified some key questions about AMD. We need to find out what causes AMD, what causes progression of the disease. We need to be able to predict who's going to be affected and when. We need to be able to develop new interventions, new treatments, new technologies in order to protect people against sight loss in AMD, and to hope to restore sight loss to people who are already affected. These are all very major challenges, and we're going to need a team effort. We need doctors, researchers, and people affected, people directly affected and people's families who are affected to help us to identify and define the priorities in order that we can make sure that our research is going to address what concerns people who are directly affected. We need to make sure that the research projects that we do are appropriately designed in order to take into account the needs of people who are affected, and we need everybody's help in deciding how best to share the information that we are able to achieve. So the purpose of today's meeting is to be able to meet face to face to discuss all these issues. We are very interested to be able to we're very keen to be able to answer any questions that you have, and you'll be able to do that through many ways during the course of the day. But we're also very keen to find out what your concerns are and what your comments are about what we're doing by way of research at the moment. There are a number of ways that you can do this today. The session of talks this morning is designed so that there's an opportunity for you to ask questions and make comments after each talk. But this afternoon there are lots more opportunities to be able to contribute with questions and comments through various means. There are a number of booths outside, a number of posters where you have a chance to talk to researchers about their own research. There are opportunities to state your views on interactive posters, to express your experience of sight loss through drawing, And if you're inclined, we'd very much appreciate your recording of some of your views on video in our video booth. So the session this morning includes the views and predictions of some researchers about their experiences and their hopes for the future about what might be available for prevention and treatment of AMD. And we're also very pleased to have with us the new Chief Executive of the Macular Society, Tony Rucinski. Please do take the opportunity to ask questions after the talks, and we'll try and ensure there's enough time to do that. Please raise your hand so that we can identify who you are, and we'll bring a microphone to you so that we can all hear what your question or comment is. There is a hearing loop available for people with hearing impairment who might need that. Please remember to turn your mobile phones off. So our first speaker, if I may introduce, is Adnan Tufail, who's going to outline the current state of play in terms of AMD, its condition, and the current treatments that are available. Adnan is the lead for AMD research at Moorfields Eye Hospital and is actively involved in a large number of clinical trials. Thank you, Adnan.